This is a courtyard. And the design of the exhibition reflects Benin royalty. And when you talk about royalty, you talk about celebration, you talk about performances. And performance is brought into the exhibition to actually draw out the right aesthetics of the Benin people. So these will be points for performances that we will see, apart from the recorded lamentation songs that will be streamed, but we have live performances and that is flexible, that we're going to play around these spaces that are available for the exhibition.
About the colors, we spent a lot of time checking it with the objects to also see how the wood, the ivory, the brass and the terracotta also reflect with the certain reds. And we wanted it to not be only one color, we wanted to have a game, like a little lenticular game. So the idea was that we wanted to use multiperspectivity as a main point, and I saw that as an ability to decolonize. In order to decolonize, we have to be able to explain that one person's perspective cannot be forced onto someone else. So when you are walking in the space, it's only you that will be able to finally align with the image to see what you see. So if I imagine my Swiss family members that come live with their kids and they want to understand what is colonialism or what is decolonization and what does that have to do with me, it's almost like saying, well, you can have your perspective, you can keep it, but you can't force your perspective to somebody else.
Also wir sind ja ein transdisziplinäres Team und kommen aus der Schweiz und aus Nigeria. Und da ist spannend gewesen, wie wirklich diese verschiedenen Wissensformen jetzt aus der Architektur, aus der Kunstgeschichte, aus der Provenienzgeschichte und eben den Performance Studies zusammenkommen und wie wir uns da eigentlich auch über diese Disziplinen hinweg dann verständigt haben und auch eine gemeinsame Sprache auch gefunden haben. Und das Zweite ist, wie man dann eben diese neuen Themen und auch diese ganze Perspektive von Benin eigentlich dann in dieser Ausstellung überführt.
Okay. Well, this is the bed of prophecy. It is called I Am All. This bed prophesied for Oba Esige. That was in 16th century when he was to embark on a war with a neighboring kingdom, Ida. This bed perched at the palace gate to warn him, to prophesy for him not to embark on that war, that if he goes to that war, he's going to be defeated. But the king has made up his mind to go to war, so he asked that the bird be killed. So his belief is that anyone who wishes to succeed in life will not listen to voice of discouragement. So he went to war and he came back victorious. So this bird, the king requested that it should be cast in bronze by the Guild of Bronze Casters, Igweomo. So he requested that in that performance, each participant should hold this bird and strike with a thin rod, strike the beak during performance to shut the mouth of evil, to shut the mouth of discouragement.
For me, it reminds me also to this entangled history of the Benin Kingdom with the Europeans. Before the colonial encounter, there were already very neat trade relationships, and in this they also brought the raw material for this kind of objects to Benin City with these rings, these manila rings. And now the actual research findings say that really this material was found and excavated in Germany and then traveled to Portuguese and was then imported to Benin City.
Related to this object was that it was probably looted by the British in 1897. So with this invasion, with the sack of Benin, it came to Europe. We don't have any traces here beside this inventory number of the museum. Weshalb machen wir diese Ausstellung und diskutieren wir auch die Restitutionsfrage. Das hat eine lange Vorgeschichte, das kommt nicht einfach so aus dem Nichts. Also schon in den 30er Jahren hatte der Ober von Benin um Rückgabe der geplünderten Werke gebeten. Und das zieht sich dann durch, eben mit einem Höhepunkt, was man auch in der Ausstellung sieht, dieses Festtag, dieses Festivals, und zieht sich dann durch bis heute, wo verschiedene Länder ja auch Rückgaben eingewilligt haben oder wo jetzt eben dieser Prozess, wo wir in so einer sogenannten Dekade der Restitution uns befinden. Und das greift auch die Ausstellung auf und das hat auch die Benin Initiative Schweiz aufgegriffen. Also die gemeinsame Forschung, aber auch dann eben auch diesen Dialog mit Benin, mit den Herkunftsländern über die Zukunft der Sammlungen.
I have the opportunity to help tell the story of my people. And like Museum Rietberg they had done a lot of research, and I quite commend their effort to tell the story as it is by involving the indigenes to help streamline the ideas behind these various artworks. So that is what interests me about this, the ability or the opportunity to talk about my culture by myself and not what I am told about my culture. So what I know, for instance, I could talk about this because I have seen it, I live it, and I know what it is. So I could talk more about it than any other person that is not from the place.